The Millennium Earth Project is something that's huge that will really help Haiti move forward. And we need to have like organizations that's going to come together to do these things. And that's why we're also looking to put together this, we already actually incorporated, but Haitian International Business Development, the whole idea is to partner with the government. So it's private, public, yes, partnerships, so that we can bridge the gap, because there's a lot of investors that do want to go to Haiti, but there's always a roadblock. You know, I mean, I tried to bring a delegation of people there, banks, to Haiti a few years ago, and the communication was just like very stagnant. You're not getting through. And a lot of the investors, they just lose interest and then they move on to the next project. So you need to be able to have, you know, the contact. You need to bridge that gap, so the communication gap. And you need to have the elected officials on board working with the government over there, so we can start having some organization, a system in place where we can start channeling everything in the proper direction. Because the doctor had mentioned that when you get there, it's like, what do we do? You know, you don't really have a plan. You know, you got to strategize and come up with plans. And when you get there, then you start doing it. You just, it starts popping. You don't want to go there, okay, what should I do now? And you're not sure how they're going to receive you and what is needed. So you need to know ahead of time. So when you go there, it's productive.
Exactly. And for those of you who don't know something like that, how can that be? Let me give you a small example. What Astrid just said, how important that is. You go to Haiti, you think you're doing something great, right? And you get a plot of land, you buy it, you do everything that you're supposed to do, and you have it, and you come back here and you say, great, we're set. You go back, it's owned by other people. They just decided they're going to live on your land. And dare you say, no, that's my land. There's no infrastructure, so that's super important.
Or the deed was false.
Yeah. Or the deed was false.
Yes.
That is what,
But it's false.
exactly. And you can't get that land back.
Rabbi Brennan?
Yes.
So I have a silly question. Is there something called the Haitian American Friendship League? I'm not Haitian. I've never been to Haiti. Until I walked into this room, I think I knew 3 Haitian people. Because we have a daycare center that emanates out of the Haitian community that rents from us in our center. Okay? But here we are, people who are not Haitian, who are concerned with what's going on in Haiti. And it seems to me that there are probably a lot of Americans who are not Haitian, and that those of you who are in America, one of the ways you could bridge the gap is not just within what you call the Haitian diaspora, but figuring out some way to create a mechanism whereby people who are not Haitian but care about Haiti can partner with the diaspora and with people in Haiti who have a vision for what Haiti could be. And I was saying to my colleagues here, I remember Papa Doc and Baby Doc. Haiti hasn't been an independent country, really, for all that long. What do you expect for 25 years? You expect all of a sudden the dictator's gone and everything got, you know? Everything that didn't happen in 50 years of Papa Doc and Baby Doc all of a sudden happened? I'm Jewish. I had nothing to do with the creation of the state of Israel. But I know what the Jewish people have been able to do with friends and partners, because we didn't stay in our own little circle or whatever, and we looked for alliances outside of our own community and created a broad framework that allowed people of goodwill to come together to solve a common problem.
And what you're proposing is exactly what I mentioned.
And all of you then could become part of the Haitian American Friendship League, along with legislators, along with all of us.
That's what the organization is proposing. We are reaching out to the non-Haitians and have high-profile events, have the elected officials to partner. So we want to open it up to the rest of the world and have also multicultural events where we're going to honor a certain country that has partnered with us to do certain things. So this is the vision that we have.
And you know, Rabbi, you just reminded me of something very special. One of the things about Haiti that's so awesome are the people who became Haitian citizens that were not born in Haiti.
Sure.
And the Jewish community is, you know, I learned that in my adulthood, that when the Jewish people who needed a place, a country, Haiti said, you come here and become, you know, Haitians. And there were Jewish people who became Haitian citizens. And so it is a great thing that you would say that. And listen, we're not leaving here tonight without people joining in some of these organizations. And Rabbi, I don't know, you said it, so I think this Haitian League Friendship thing.
I think
you
it's a
should
great
just
idea.
take a
Haitian
shot.
Heritage Friendship League.
There you go.
So,
can I
don't leave
just-
without giving more information, Rabbi.
I just want to add something to my colleague, because I've been thinking about that. I'm in Rotary, I've been in Rotary 37 years. For a while, Carrie was in our club. And people give to people. And they give to who they know. Some of you see I'm wearing this shirt because this Sunday we have bladder cancer walk. I have bladder cancer, so I started the walk. No one else in the club would have started it. We don't have any Haitian members. I was saying before to Carrie, not just not having Haitian members, we don't have many other minorities or different people in the club because they're all involved in their own thing. But I think that you have to have outreach.
Yes.
And so I think that the Haitian people who are interested should join local groups. They should join the Chamber of Commerce. They should join Rotary, Lions, Kiwanis. And then once they get into those groups, then it follows what the rabbi said, because you can get them interested. The very first project we ever did in Rotary was I joined the Queens Village Club, and we built a well in the Haitian village. And that was during Papagat, because we had a member who had a relative, who was Haitian and found out about this village where they had to go to the river to pick up water. So they built a well for them. So I think that that's a very important message for everybody, to think about.
Absolutely, because I am past president of my Rotary Club, I am the Central Asset Rotary Club, and we actually partnered with the Reviving Haiti, and we're going to do a goat project. So we can bring sustainable developments there, so it's like a micro home to help them to get on their feet.
Right.
So that we're doing something.
Yeah.
Astrid, maybe we should piggyback with your Rotary Club. Okay.
So I see that there is interest in a lot of the discussions that, that rich conversation. What I'm going to do, I know some of you have some of the questions. I want to just lift a couple of the words in these next questions, and I'd like for us to have a real deep conversation. And in my day job, we never leave a meeting without saying next steps. We do not want to leave here without the next steps. And it's a real next step, not, oh wow, it was a great meeting, we had a great conversation, but what do we do tomorrow? And so we need to, think about that and say, what are we going to do exactly tomorrow? So I'm just going to read these. We wanted to discuss water. I heard someone say about wells, so we know how to get clean water. We know there's still a problem with water, hence cholera, right? Also jobs. I know that there is a gentleman here, and I know actually we're going to talk about it, but I just want to jump a little bit because I see this conversation that needs to be done. When we talk about jobs, how do you bring jobs? Well, Fizeme, who is a resident here, he lives in Suffolk, but he decided there are people who were starving and they needed food. So he went and he opened a chicken coop. Now, he's, Astrid, I think you said 35? There are 35 people. 35 employees, 35 people are now working. And restaurants and supermarkets are buying so that they can feed the people. So that's job right there. And then we also wanted to talk about this Vesteavac, that's the domestic, and people bring
The child slavery.
which Astrid's going to talk about that. And then lastly, we want to know, besides Haiti, how can we as a community better assist and help the Haitian Americans here? So those are the questions. I'm not going to ask the question, but I'm really good at just like saying you're next, and I'm really good at cutting you off. So just a little thing. If I go like this to you, let's move on, because I know everybody here is very passionate. So let's just start, all of these things. What is the thing that you're so passionate about? You go to sleep, you think about the Haitian community, you think about Haiti, and you wake up, I wish I knew how to do that. So let's talk about that, whether it's water, whether it's housing. What can we do? What's the next step tonight when we leave here? When we partner with each other here? What is it that you're going to do tomorrow? What's that phone call you're going to make? And what is that application? You're gonna say, here, fill this out. So let's have that discussion. Astrid, you can go. I'm partial to Astrid.
Well, I can say a little bit about the West Lubbock, because I moved to
Laura, this
okay. I don't know if everybody knows what West Lubbock is. It's like a child that stays with, someone that is better off or off. And a lot of times that the parents would give the child away to a family that has more means, financial means. And oftentimes they promise them education or something, and oftentimes it doesn't happen. And they're basically it's child labor, and they're not getting paid, and oftentimes they're violated. They're raped, it's this horrible situation. And a lot of them just become hoodlums later on when they grow up. So they walk the streets and then they're doing this terrible things. So we need to stop that because the children, they matter. And they're innocent. Their innocence is robbed, is taken away. And that hurts my heart because I love children and I love the innocence. And when it's robbed that way, it just makes no sense. And we're losing a lot of kids, they have no education. And we got to focus on how we can fix that problem. Again, like I said before, through education comes transformation. We need to educate our children. We need to get together and focus on the children. And actually with HIBDG, we're in the process of communicating with the First Lady, and we're going to put an event, God willing, with Legislator Solages, so we can promote economics over there, economic development there, and she's very passionate about children, educating the children. So we're going to see how we're going to raise money for that, and for also working the land, the farming, and so forth. But these are the things that I think is so critical right now for Haiti. So we need to come together and join all our resources, put all our resources and our contacts together, and go and bring positive change to Haiti.
And when you say she, you mean the First Lady of
The
Haiti?
First Lady of Haiti, yes.
Thank you, Lauren. Going to give this very quiet over there, so we're going to give her a chance. Go ahead.
So just a quick note on the job part. Really, what Innovate is trying to do is elevate the teaching profession to the level that's equal to the value that Haitians place on education. So one of the challenges they're seeing right now is that people are leaving more rural areas that they might have dispersed to after the earthquake and going back to Port-au-Prince or other major urban metropolises in order to get education for their kids. And then that stretches out all the existing challenges around access to clean water, jobs, all of these other pieces that you need to have a full functioning life and to take care of your family. So there are two things that Innovate does. One is that they want to make sure that in hiring someone else or gaining a network of supporters or like a friendship network, that they are not displacing or taking away a job that a Haitian could have. So they want to make sure that for any work that they do, whether it's supporting teacher training or when the boot camp is going on and they have a Haitian chef that they can hire to provide meals for all the teachers who are training, that they are making sure that they are keeping those jobs in the community. So that's one critical part. The other part of it is that education, we know, is the number one thing that you can invest in to keep girls in school, to make sure that they do not start families before they are able to take care of families, to improve health outcomes. So education, although it is more long range, is that key factor that can put a developing country back on track. So what they're really focusing on from an education standpoint is elevating the value of what it means to be a teacher and making sure that when people finish, whether it's a bachelor's program or master's program, that there is a job waiting for them. Because what's happening right now, the brain drain and the attrition, is leading to situations where people are finishing school, but they can't find jobs. And they say, well, what was the point of all that work that I put into getting that degree if I can't get a job? So they're trying to build a pipeline so that eventually you don't have to only be in a major city to teach or to have a good salary, that they can start to work with the Ministry of Education to improve policy, so you could be in the most remote area and still have access to a good teacher and quality curriculum. So it is a job creation system in a way, but it really is a train the trainer. And this year alone, well, in the last 12 months, they have trained over 500 educators. This summer alone, they're training, on track to train another 200. So the scale that they're able to create is really incredible, and the program is over 2 years. So what they're trying to do is make sure that people can work in the jobs that they have and get the training over a period of 2 years so that you're not displacing them economically in order to become a teacher, and you're creating multiple paths. You can become a teacher, you can become an administrator, or you can become a coach or curriculum director. So even if you have training, you can go back and there's more. So really their job creation is about getting people in the pipeline, creating a skill set that has value in the marketplace, and making sure that they have something to come back to years later. So it really is a long-term strategy, but in essence, it is job creation. And the students that they teach to be able to have the best jobs that they can because they have access to a good education.
And this is all in Haiti.
And this is all in Haiti.
And your organization, what you want to do is make sure people here, the Haitian Americans in the United States, understand what's happening in Haiti for support.
Absolutely.
And the salaries are paid by the government.
Well, there are private schools and then there are public schools, and that's another question around unionization and how you create healthy competition to raise salaries for everyone. So that's a slightly more complicated piece.
That's another panel.
Yeah, that's another panel. I haven't talked to you about it, but that's another panel.
So Doctor, and Omanis, I see your finger, let's let the doctor, and then I'll come to you.
My focus is health.
I have a lot of health people on this panel.
I'm not ever politically correct, so I will say what I have to say, and then I can delve into some of the other factors here. The biggest setback was what you originally started with, and then from there, we started to talk about these other ideas. Unless we, meaning we, us, as Haitians, change our mindset, we will never get anywhere.
Amen.
Like I said,
Say it again.
unless we, meaning we, us as Haitians, unless we change our mindset, we will never get anywhere. We will continue to have government interference. We will continue to not really be independent, as the gentleman just said, although I know we've been independent for over 200 years, 213 to be exact. But we have to change ourselves. We are the ones that can help Haiti, meaning
Yes.
us.
Yes.
People come from all different parts of the world. They come here, they gather their education, they go back to their country, and they help their country. We don't have that mindset. All the systems that you guys are talking about are beautiful systems. They are what can help us. But again, each of us work in silos. Each of us do not see us as a contributor to the advancement of Haiti. Whether it's one thing that you do, one thing, you don't have to do too much, just one thing, but the mindset has to change. It has to be where I am not doing it for me, I'm not doing it for my organization, I'm doing it for the future of my country. And until we start to think that way, none of this will work.
I approve.
I said that.
Yes.
I said that just at the beginning.
None of this will work.
We have to do that because if you look at the Kid Estimate Foundation, okay, we are committed to help Haiti any way, shape, and form. Because the children that we are educating, we give them free food, free school, free bus transportation, they are the future of tomorrow. Because we need to feed, okay? And we cannot go and leave the country the same way it is right now. Exactly. 213 years ago, we get our independence, and we still the poorest country in that stage. Okay, so I'm glad. Legislator Solages, okay, bring the forward here so we can work together.
This is the beginning. Omanis, I saw you had it. So real quick, and then we're going, it is 10 to 8, so we're going to open it up to questions and comments from the audience.
I would just say that actions and attitude are so valuable. And when we talk about mindset, it starts with us here. We have to stop the negativity and trust. Because for us to help Haiti, like you said, it starts with us. We talk, we have a lot of words, but no actions. And sometimes our own attitude go against the work talk we say. So I would say for us here, and I'm saying Long Island because that's where we are, we need to be organized. Every time someone will call the office and say how many Haitians are in Nassau and Suffolk, and I'm guessing you know this,
Yeah.
it's really not good.
It's hard to get.
It's hard to get. And in saying the action, we need to be fearless. Don't worry about what so-and-so's gonna say. Okay? Oh, I don't have no, please stop. Okay? If we have the something in us that calls us to do something, do it. Because when you don't do it, it's not gonna get done. I have been in the United States for 47 years like you. But I thank God every day. Now that I travel to Haiti 4 or 5 times a year, I thank God that I was never disconnected to Haiti. Because when I'm on the street by myself, and I won't do that in Port-au-Prince, but I can do it anywhere. Okay? Okay? I haven't done that in Port-au-Prince. When I'm on the street by myself, and I'm having conversation with my people, I'm not afraid. No. I go on a school bus, all everybody's in the bus, they don't know who I am, I just sit and I listen. Because we can't just dream what Haiti was in 1970. We have to get to where we are right now and start talking, actions and attitudes, organize ourselves. As a family, when I say one of the legs is community organizing, community development. On Long Island, we need, well, I'm saying Long Island, but anywhere we are, we need to be a force. The other day somebody said to me, Magnus, I know you travel to Miami a lot. What about you creating another family in Miami? Because it will work faster. I says, I'm not about working faster. I am going to continue, even though I kind of live in the air now, between Florida and New York and Haiti. I'm going to continue to make sure I work on Long Island so we can be organized, because I have seen the changes in the past 30-something years. 39 years on Long Island, I have seen the changes. And I want to see more changes. And it does not happen if you're afraid of what people are going to say. If you don't, when I ask somebody to talk to a Haitian person, give you a paper, oh, I don't know what to ask them. You give me a problem. Because you don't know what, you have a fear for yourself that you need to get rid of. Okay? Because we are here, we have all this knowledge, all these things. It takes each one of us to become that, to have that collective and working with others. I will finish my conversation by saying, I finally happened to be on a special project for Long Island not-for-profit, where 140 organizations are participating. And it's a project that's called Give Where You Live. It's going to be for Long Island. And what I would like to see happening is that we show ourselves in numbers, Haitians, friends of Haiti, in numbers, donating, not only for the money, but for the support. Because when we go into Haiti for a mission, we pay our fare. We need to sleep somewhere. We need the extra money to do what we're going to do. We bring materials. We do this and that. So the money, when we strengthen ourselves here, we are able to reach out to Haiti at a different level.
Thank you, Lex. Thank you very much for that. So,
Can I say
sure,
Okay, you're absolutely right.
real quick.
Very quick. We each and every one of us have a dream here. Follow the dream and don't give up.
That's right.
Never.
Never.
Never give up.
And then you will become a reality.
Exactly.
And we're not going to benefit from it, but the children of Haiti will benefit from it.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, one of the coalitions that I work with has a report that came out on the state of Black Long Island. And part of one of the lines was Haitians living on Long Island. So there are 31,000 Haitians that lives on Long Island. And those are just the ones that we know from the census and other data that we collected. So that's not, those who are here on TPS or visas or other types. So that's just Long Island. So we can do an incredible work. So now,
Can I ask 2 seconds?
we need a part two.
We're talking about dreams. I think it's good to dream.
However, we still have to face reality sometimes.
Amen.
We cannot come here and dream, as someone said before, the way we were in Haiti, or we dream that we can help Haiti. I think one of the things that we have to, start having is to take the steps to make our dreams become reality or coming true. One of them is, I don't know if Legislator Solages can help us. I think the dual nationality is one. Trying to be together with all of the organizations is a second thing, and also to work also with the Haitian government. Because we cannot, as a diaspora, just go in Haiti and think you're going to change a country which is already established. We have to work together with them, with us and with them.
Exactly.
So we can be there, but make it reality.
So here's the thing, there are steps to every organization. Every organizing step brings you to your goal, right? So HAPAC, with the leadership of Astrid at the time, brought the delegation, of course, I don't believe they're in power anymore, but did bring a delegation from Haiti that wanted to talk to the diaspora about dual citizenship. It's not easy when you have an idea just to stand on your own, and that's why we need each other. So in this room right now, with what you're talking about, I can think of many people that should right away form a coalition just to talk about how do you do that. You have HAPAC, which is a political arm. You have lawyers in this room, and I see you, Gérard. I see Gérard Cadet back there with $11.99, right? So, yeah, I know all of you. If not by face, I know you. And then you have, Reverend Emmanuel Asset, who most of the time he's up in Washington or he's up in Albany. So we have the resources, we have the education, we have the organizations. Now, what you have to do is just make that step and just say, well, this is what I do. How can I help? Like, I love politics. And if you're Haitian, you love politics. Some of us work in it, and I do sometimes, and some of you know people. So now what you have to do is, how do I take my piece of the puzzle and stick it with the other person and make and then we can go as a united front to Haiti. Because it's not just Haiti. When we organize in different communities here in the United States, people call you an outsider because they're afraid of what you're bringing, even if it can help you. Even if it could help them, they're still afraid. But when you are organized and you know what you're going to do, when you come to that place, they know exactly. I'm from Okai. My family's from Okai. But I wouldn't dare go to Okai and say, hey, I'm going to open up a school. They're going to, who are you? Who's your father? It's a guess, yeah. That's what they're going to say, because one has to bridge for the other. So that's what we have to do. How can I help you? Where are you from? I'm from Okai. I do have a dream. I'd like to see the restoration of the courts and the school in Zombi, which is in Okai, but way deep inside. That's where I was born. I'd like to see that I would do that, but there's no way I could do it without your help. Connecting with others. So now the questions and the comments that you have, and I'd like to hear from the professionals, the attorneys, the union members. I see all of you. I mean, after rolling it. Talk about it.
Briefly.
Briefly, because it is now 8:59. I'm on schedule. 8 o'clock.
7:59.
7:59, sorry. Yes.